Hey everyone, welcome to the No Guts No Galaxy podcast number 175. We are your hosts, Daeron and Phil, and today is Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. Yep, it is coming to the end of the summer very quickly. Man, what a quick summer. Joining me today on this summer day is Phil. How you doing, Phil?
This guy. I'm doing good, man. Good to see you. You're looking good. No.
Thank you. You as well.
No.
I know you're being sarcastic.
No extra gray. Just just
all the standard gray is there.
Just all the standard gray. Of course, this podcast is brought to you by you, our patrons, our Twitch subs, our viewers. If you guys would like to help support the podcast, become a Twitch sub today and find out more, of course, at patreon.com/NoGutsNoGalaxy. So
yeah. So what's up with your summer? Let's still take a little bit of time to talk about what's going on in our lives.
Me personally, I've had a few things going on. Training for my Spartan races.
How's that going?
It's going good. I've got a race at the end of this month. It's a pretty big race as far as race weekend. It's we have three main distances when it comes to the Spartan races. Basically long, medium, short. And for those that don't know, it's an obstacle course race. So basically what you're doing is you're going from point A to point B doing an obstacle, and then from point B to C and so forth and so on. At the end of this month, I've got all three in one weekend. Normally you only have two. So we did the long one on Saturday, and then Sunday morning we start the medium. You get back from that, and depending on when your next thing goes out, we do another. So I think the beast, that's what it's called, will probably be about 13 to 16 miles depending, 5,000 feet of elevation.
The beast
with 33 some odd obstacles. So that's
what's the short one called?
Sprint, and that's what they are. It's all out. So yeah, training's going well. Wife's doing well, the dogs are doing well. Gizmo's just getting a little bit grayer. Apparently I am too. It's official. I'm getting grays in my hair, but it's still thick and full. So there's that. So
mine's not gray. It's silver, man, and so it just means it's worth money. But anyway,
how about you? What's going on with you?
Well, what's your weather been like there? Because I wanted to brag a little bit about my weather,
dude.
But only in comparison.
I had a bachelor party. 2 weeks ago, and it was fantastic because it was up in the mountains where I went to college.
Yeah.
And the temperature, like, it was amazing. Like there was no AC. You just, it's so, and I think we want to try to get property up there and in the mountains, because you can get property fairly inexpensive, and
comparatively,
comparatively, and then just maybe do like a little cabin or like a container home. Yeah, those are starting to pop up.
Dude,
I'm really intrigued.
I'm so into that. I've watched like 100 YouTube videos on container homes.
I went down the rabbit hole a few days ago.
So did I, dude.
And then Danielle's like,
well, if we're going to go down this rabbit hole, okay, so I'm addicted to all these YouTube shows, and even Netflix has them, home building and creative ways of home building. Yeah, like I'll probably never build my own home, but I love watching people do it. And I'm into all types of different homes. I see people doing underground homes, container homes, tiny homes. And now check this out. I haven't even talked to you about this because we're still in the very beginning stages of looking into it. But we're considering moving onto a boat. We're considering buying a boat and moving onto a boat.
You don't have to pay tax. There's different taxes for that, right?
There's all kinds of things. But basically, with all of the payments involved, all the expenses involved in living on a boat, we can probably cut down our overhead by about 50%. As far as our living overhead, which is huge, and the rent we're paying here is pretty high. And so I've been, talk about a rabbit hole. Oh my God. I mean,
it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and yes, hello, Baradul and everybody in chat. Good to see you guys. Sorry for making you listen to non-mech stuff, but now obviously Phil and I are going down similar paths here as far as trying to downsize a little bit. And we're looking at a trawler, which is a pretty big engine boat, and tons of living space. And so we're looking at it.
I think it's
still
cool.
have a lot of stuff to research.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I've seen plenty on it, and like I said, you go down the rabbit hole. You're like, okay, so
oh yeah, dude.
Well,
we can power the thing with solar. Like there's all kinds of stuff that's just really cool. And I like downsizing. The house we're in now is so huge and too much for us.
Think about this. in your lifetime that if you're on a boat, you won't have to worry about the sea level rise.
No, I know.
Like, I mean, it works out.
We've talked
you know?
about
like,
that. Totally. Like, sea level rises,
Jesus.
so do we.
Oh my gosh.
No, but for weekend excursions during the summer, going out, I'm totally down. And the Pacific Northwest is literally paradise for that. The weather up here, like, okay, so yesterday was pretty much the hottest day this summer that we've had. People were freaking out. It was 74, dude, with the cool breeze.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but coming from California, we just laugh because it was just paradise here.
It's been stupid hot here. Like, I think it was 97 yesterday, and then plus the humidity. So, yeah.
Well, good luck to you, and I hope you do a container home, dude, because I'd be so interested in that
dude,
process.
you can make them.
Totally.
I mean, it's like we're okay.
I've seen people putting like 6 containers.
Yeah,
a huge home.
Yeah, you can make a
or one
2,000-3,000 square foot. Yeah, and
totally,
I think
dude.
I'm more shooting towards like, like a 1 or 2 container, and then they've got like hybrids too, where like you get 2, and there's 2 main sizes. There's the 20 foot and 40 foot.
Yes.
But I mean, your 20 foot is only like a few grand, and a 40 foot's a few grand more. So I mean,
Yep.
But what
I see a lot of people getting the 40 foots for like $5,000, whatever. If you look around, you get a good deal. But yeah, dude, it's what I love about them is it's like Legos. You can just totally get creative. You look at the property you're gonna buy. You figure out what's gonna be a good layout for them.
You got to look at permits and stuff like that. Yeah, but anyways, and then there's companies that build them too for you as well. So
totally
for very.
Home options are totally creative these days. What are those Earthship homes? Have you ever looked at Earthship homes?
No.
Another cool thing. It's probably too hippie for you, but anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So we filled some space with talks about homes, didn't we?
Earthship homes. Oh, that's cool.
They're
it's taking a fucking old
energy
ship.
efficient. No. That's
no.
not.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, no. I see what you mean. At first, I thought. So yeah,
they're very popular, like in the Southwest. It's made out of recyclable materials.
Yeah, bottles, tires,
bottles.
Yeah.
Super energy efficient, super efficient. It's just another interesting thing, especially if you're like, an end of the world believer. Like,
well,
it's
not even that. Like, I think
being totally off the grid.
I've seen some of these and some of the pictures I'm seeing too they're in the desert, and how the ones I saw that were built too is because of how they're built. Like, you could open a Windows bottom and the top, and it automatically creates a zone year round of like a comfortable temperature and stuff so
I'm really getting into geothermal heating and cooling as well. That's another process there's so much stuff.
Solar is getting better too. It's something I've talked about, a little bit off topic obviously, but the one thing, solar costs are coming down for just residential house. Like, for instance, right now I think for like our home or it's around like $15,000 to $18,000 to basically get it installed and everything. And then I think it pays itself off within 5 years. So you got to think at that 5 year point, you're no longer paying.
The 5 years is coming no matter what. So at the end of those 5 years, where are you going to be? That's the way I'm looking at things.
But the thing is, like, most people don't have, let's just say 18,000 to drop.
Sure.
I mean, and so that's where I feel like the states and even like companies out there could really make some money, is someone coming up and basically saying, you know what? We want you to achieve this. We understand the financial burden. So here's the deal, like, where they get like all the money and or something like that. Like, you benefit of getting like almost no energy bill, but then, after X amount of years, then you start getting your cut or something. I don't know. But energy is
cool stuff.
Getting better. Yes. So
yeah, there is a lot of stuff you can research on all of this. And I literally, most of my free time now is I'm doing research on various topics of interest of mine, and these are certainly one. So anyway, we'll keep you guys up to date on what's happening with our house plans, I guess.
Yeah. So
our living spaces.
We've had a little bit different schedule for the past 2 weeks, and we
started a new schedule.
Yeah, we wanted to update you guys, and this involves Daeron and I.
Yep.
I'll be streaming Monday and Friday, and Daeron will be streaming Tuesday and Thursday. And then on Wednesday, we have the podcast that we will be doing just like you see right now. Of course, with that, sometimes the podcast will be shorter. Sometimes they'll be longer. We're going to be sitting down and talking to Ash very soon about the World Tournament, which we'll talk about in a moment. Other guests as well. We still want to continue our interview series with streamers and content creators out there in the community.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, we got a lot of people lined up for that. Basically, what we're trying to do here, guys, is make sure that Monday through Friday there's content here. You're going to get your mech porn fix. And I've been wanting to jump back into streaming for a while now. I still have some upgrades and improvements I need to make to my rig to be where I'm comfortable with it. But regardless, we started it anyway. I'm doing it. I streamed yesterday. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the days covered.
And then, on that note too, we've really enjoyed the interview series, the creator series.
Yeah.
And obviously we
been
have
a lot of fun.
A few people in chat. Bear Duel is one of those people, Father Bill, so forth. And so
you can
on.
check our YouTube channel as well as our SoundCloud if you want to check out the past profiles we had.
It's
Logan
weird.
And Bear Duel.
Me and you were talking about this. It's weird. The numbers difference between views on YouTube and then the correlation to SoundCloud. We'll have something that doesn't get a whole lot of listens on YouTube. Then you go over to SoundCloud expecting the same, and it's got like triple the amount of listens and downloads. And it's like, why does one get chosen over the other as far as like a platform?
I don't know. I think maybe
people download them to like
format,
podcaster. Yeah.
Like I listen to all my podcasts in my car when I'm driving around. It's easy with my iPhone.
Like Bear Duel's interview, we had more listens and views on our YouTube than we did.
You know why that makes sense to me?
Because of his
he's
community.
got a big YouTube presence.
I mean, that makes sense. And then over the course of period of time, I mean, it's data nerd. We're nerds. We always look at like information.
Nerd.
Speaking
but anyway,
of
as
which,
you mentioned, but let's finish up with MWO. We did mention we're going to be talking with Ash soon. We are going to have him on as a guest. We're going to talk about the MWO Comp Championship Series 2019 that's coming up soon. So yeah, we look forward to that. I'm not going to dive into that at all.
I'm excited about it just because it's their thing. Like it's going to be what the comp scene wants, and I'm looking forward to seeing the level of play and what comes out of it. So
absolutely. I always enjoy MWO Comp. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Because I'm never going to be there. Like, I'm never at that level. I know, right. I take that back. I know I
could if you wanted to.
I could if I wanted to. I could play on a team. I don't know what team that would be on, but
I could be a bench warmer on a team for sure.
You could be the water boy. You could be the water boy.
You can do it. Anyway, a few other recent happenings within the MWO community. Loken Plays, as we mentioned, I think in one of our previous stream, he achieved partnered status in Twitch, which is awesome. Finally, he's one of those guys that we've been rooting for behind the scenes for a very long time. So that was awesome. Congratulations to Loken out there. And then just this week, Casual Joker is celebrating his 5-year stream anniversary, which is cool. Time goes by quick, man, and 5 years is that's a lot of dedication. So cheers to him.
Speaking of which, we just had this month we had 5-year subs as well.
Yeah.
Opie, Father Bill, and I'm missing someone.
We've reached that threshold.
Is it Laurent or Radarian? No. Anyways, there's one other. I forget the 5. It's insane.
Now we've been streaming longer than that, right?
I think so. And we could have been partnered earlier. We just didn't. Because remember too, is before that was on NGNG. Because before that we were streaming on IGP's channel.
Yeah.
And then when we crossed over to working for PGI, that's when we started.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, we had a big viewership on IGP.
On IGP,
yeah. So
what a waste of time that was.
Yeah, literally. But oh my God, you need to check Discord, Daeron. Our NGNG Discord and general chat.
All right, I'm done.
You need to see this. Everyone needs to see this. Your beard. You have a bearded friend that.
Holy cow!
That's like you when you clean up. You look completely different. Strong Paw. Why did you do that? Why? If you're wondering, so what we're doing is we're looking at a probably 2 feet long beard, all the way down below his chest line. And then. The next picture is him clean shaven. Did you lose a bet? You did it for charity?
Dude, here's all I'm thinking looking at that picture is this is my beard length. I cannot make it grow longer than this. I want it to be like that.
Yeah.
And he shaved it off.
Yeah. But it's funny. What was it, a month ago? I was wondering, I was like, why does your hair stop growing on your arm? And then I went down the rabbit hole on that and fucking
Smart
Google
hair.
and YouTube. And it's because your body's smart and it all falls out. You just don't notice it. Or same thing with your beard. You just don't notice it. But there's a limit on your beard length. It's genetic.
Brea, I'm totally unaware of whatever joke. I wasn't offended by anything yesterday. No worries. Yeah, like people, like I went into, when I was away this weekend, I went into a building and there was a bunch of people there and some guy turned around and looked at me and he said, "Oh, aren't you in that band ZZ Top?" I'm like, "I wish, man. This is like Santa Claus length. What are you talking about? I can't grow it that long.
Yeah.
I want to. I want to be ZZ Top. I want to be Gandalf."
Do you trim? Do you clean it?
A little bit because, you know, around here I get stray hairs and
just like stray long ones. Like
yes,
it's like that follicle didn't get the memo.
Yes, it did not. Exactly. But anyway, that's pretty much it for MWO. Obviously, we'll be playing it every day or most days, 4 days a week, and you guys can join us. We do a lot of, solo queue, sync drops, whatever, giving away stuff. So hopefully see you tomorrow and see you in the following weeks.
Okay, next topic, Mech 5. Man. This is an interesting one. Community reaction.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know,
so you're talking about EGS.
Yes,
so
Epic Game Store announcement. Obviously, we had the AMA with Russ, and that information came out, and there's a bit of it about it. Look, at the end of the day, Daeron and I are not here to change your minds on how you feel, and we're not going to tell you how to feel.
There's enough opinions out there. I mean, a lot of community reaction and opinions. So I think if you want to do the research and figure out wherever you
land
stand on it,
that's on you.
Fine.
And we're not going to tell you you're wrong or you're right or whatever. But as far as the reaction, I wasn't surprised, just because of some previous info and stories that have came out about EGS in general. It's a pretty controversial thing. The one thing I will say about it is I think the highlight that I've seen is people were more upset with the exclusivity than they were with potential security risks and stuff like that. Me personally, I've been involved with security risks with Epic Game Store. I haven't even told you this, Daeron. I've had someone, because I have two accounts. I have one with my Sean Lang email and I have one on my personal. I recently opened the personal one, so it had two-step authentication automatic when I set that up, which, by the way, it has two-step authentication and other apps do. Do that, guys. Do not fall victim. Plug that in. Case in point.
I always two-step now, man.
Case in point.
Or three-step.
I get emails on my Sean Lang email that someone was trying to log in and get the code, and obviously they can't get the code.
And it tells you what country they're from and whatever. Yeah.
And I found out as well, luckily, two-step authentication, my own personal Twitch channel. That's why I went through every single password, every single online thing, and I reset everything. And I don't have any malware on my computer, so obviously the information was released somewhere else. That being said, the exclusivity, I'm sort of torn on this from a personal standpoint, Daeron. And again, we're not here to change your guys' minds. We're just sharing how I feel about it. It doesn't bother me as much as far as exclusivity. I don't like it, but I'm used to it. And I don't know if that makes that a good situation or bad. And I guess case in point is like Nintendo, PlayStation. We've had exclusives for the longest time. I can understand.
That's different, though. That's a platform exclusivity.
Sure, but it's still...
To me, that's night and day difference.
But there's games that come out on both Xbox and PlayStation.
Sure.
So.
The thing I compare it to is just other games. I've got Uplay, I've got Epic, I've got whatever, Origin, I've got Microsoft Store. I've got games purchased on all these. Personally, for me, would I prefer every game to come out on Steam? For the most part, because it's just convenient. Updating the games, installing the games, whatever. It's very convenient for me personally.
Very convenient.
But the fact is, the reason I have all these other stores and launchers and shit is because games come out. I want to play them. That's what they're on. I get it. If I don't want it, I don't get it. And so my personal feeling, besides all the, sidetrack basically issues involved here, I don't really care. It's just another launcher. There's ways to get around using the launcher.
But what this brings to me up is more of a discussion point of why do other companies or game companies or stuff feel that they have to develop their own? And that's something that I feel like is what Russ was sort of bringing up. I had no idea. It was, hey, if you're on another distribution platform, that's 5% for Unreal. And then, Steam, that's 30%.
Business wise, dude, it makes total sense to me. Like you're talking 35% compared to 12?
Yeah, 12%.
Is that what it is? 35 to 12? Yeah, so that's a huge difference as far as a small developer, that you're talking millions of dollars, for sure. And then also what I think was a good move is that it allowed them to get a, whatever size marketing budget. And so as far as the game goes and the developer, it makes sense to me. As far as is it the absolute best? My choice of what I would have wanted to see as a player, maybe not. But again, it's just not that big of a deal to me. That's why I have other launchers and stores.
Well, and if you remove the Mech 5 aspect from it, and let's just say you put a generic game title on, and we removed ourselves from being, because I'm such a fanboy of BattleTech and MechWarrior. Like I said, the exclusivity part, I understand. I think another part when it came to it that a lot of people outside the security stuff, because there's a lot of nuances there. Again, do your own research. Make sure you have two-step authentication.
We're not trying to change your mind.
But when it comes to another topic is like, could PGI have done something a little bit better? And I just want to bring to the point of, obviously Steam was going to happen. That's what they were doing. And I think that's what Russ was trying to say is like during this period of time, right? Epic and the discussions, I guess, started in April. They couldn't say anything. Again, remember how NDAs work, guys. When you're going through business, and if there's other people that own businesses and do stuff like that, sometimes you can't talk about it until it's done deal. Especially money's involved and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. So, a little bit of leeway there. Other than that,
well, as a business owner, most of my life, just things change. Like that's, and if like. That's something I try and teach my daughter, like to not get upset when plans change, when things change, because that, folks, is life. And if that's something that makes you lose it, boy, you're going to have a rough life.
Yeah. So as far as the EGSs, those are our opinions. Again, we're not trying to change your guys'. It's okay if you feel otherwise. It's okay if you agree, disagree. It's okay. We're not here to do that. We're just here to have a discussion about it as well. So, as far as MechWarrior 5, we haven't seen anything new, no videos.
Not gameplay, no.
We do get screenshots. A few times we've had a few extra ones. Matt throws us an extra bone. Latest one is a Victor and Wolfhound.
Victor versus Wolfhound. Yeah, it's a pretty cool image.
Yeah. Most of them are nice, I think. But as some people would point out, they want to see more, right? Like they want to be.
Well, of course we do.
Everybody does, right? You want to be
obvious is obvious.
Tickled a little bit, right?
Yeah. But what I was, looking at this image in particular, I was going back to just the previous MechWarrior games and, thinking about what this image would have looked like in those games.
God.
And so just from a graphically standpoint, obviously 20 years later from the last MechWarrior product, it's going to be substantially better, but it is. And that's what's nice. Obviously there's tons at stake still, storyline, gameplay, all that stuff. But it's beautiful, man. Like just the look of that city in the background and the destruction and of course the beautiful mechs from MWO. But it's a cool screenshot. I think my favorite still, I was looking at them all again. I think my favorite though is that javelin that's under fire. That's such a cool action shot. Javelin under fire. Anyway, some cool screenshots. We love to see them, but we want more. That is a cool screenshot. Sure.
Yeah, and as far as Mech 5 too, we've got obviously during the AMA December 10th, 2019. That is the release date. November 5th is the closed beta. Some probably information for those that are streamers. At the very bottom of the FAQ is they still don't have a concrete decision on whether to stream or not, or all that stuff. So obviously we'll hopefully find out a little bit more because the game comes out. Will people be able to stream it and so forth? Another big topic that I'm interested in, and I've talked about a lot during the stream, is modding. What does this mean for modding? Obviously during the AMA, Russ made a few comments of Epic hopefully will add those said features later on. Let me just clarify a few things. When this game comes out, modding is going to take off, and PGI doesn't have to do anything from there. They've already done the pre-work on how to set up all the pipelines for it. What Russ is more talking about is what you guys are used to with like Steam Workshop. For instance, like Paradox City Skylines, right? You go to the Steam Workshop. Oh, I see a mod that I really want, that building or whatever transit mod or something like that. You click subscribe, you go in game, and you can then see that transport mod or whatever, and you can enable it, and boom, it's in your game, and it's enabled.
I use the hell out of Steam Workshop, and it's so convenient, but then I also, on the other end, I'll still play like DayZ, and I'll use like a third-party launcher, and I will search out mods on the internet, and it's inconvenient to the max, but I still want to play that game, so I still do it.
It's inconvenient, but the cool thing, just like Nexus, with BattleTech, there are mod hosting stuff and solutions that the community will come up with. Like, for instance, there's stuff for like Skyrim where people have made basically programs that you can just, check stuff off and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's not going to...
That's the same for DayZ.
Yeah, it's not going to slow down the mod community at all. But what it might do is it might allow... I don't know if there's any size limits on the Steam Workshop, but Epic Games Store has basically said they want to add that functionality later. We just don't know. But as a modder, I can tell you, it doesn't matter. You're not going to wait on Epic. You're going to do your own thing, and it's probably going to come off, as far as Nexus. And I'm sure there'll be a FAQ or out there in a wiki and stuff like that. So.
Remember how hard it was to get Living Legends working back in the day?
Oh, now it's easy, right? Yeah, now it's easy. It's like an install. You don't even have to have like the original game either. It's changed. So
we used to jump through hoops, man.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I guess
big time.
I have an announcement. Should I?
Go for it.
If I've told you.
I don't know. Go for it. If it's appropriate and it's the time.
It's about modding.
Yeah. Here. Just my only comment is don't overreach, and maybe I don't know. I don't know what your announcement is. So
I'm going to say, me and a small group of people are going to attempt to create Mech Commander out of MechWarrior 5. All right, there, I said it.
There you go.
That's what it's. I don't think it's insurmountable because the majority of work is already done for you. But that's what we're going to try to do.
Dude, I can't even say how much I am looking forward to the mods that come out of this, because I mean, even just specific storylines, obviously there's going to be people falling all over a MechWarrior 5 mod if you can make that happen. And the ones that I'm also looking forward to very much are people recreating novels, and just whatever famous battles or
people are going to recreate the storyline of 2, 4.
Dude, I feel like the modding capabilities are going to make the fun in that game just freaking endless, because dude, it's almost 2020. We're so much further along with modding in games than we were 5-10 years ago, where we were still playing mods and did everything that we possibly could to make it happen. Now, I think just the sky is the limit, and that makes me so excited for this.
That being said, there's a few things to keep in mind. I think, as far as I know from all the AMAs we've heard, and again, Daeron and I are not involved with anything as far as the development of Mech 5 is concerned. But what we do know and what we've heard off the AMAs, just like you guys, they have alluded to basically the ability to make your own mechs and vehicles. What we don't know yet is if there will be documentation right off the bat for that, as far as like the pipelines, if there's modders out there. If you're a non-modder, basically this means is like, it's like the diagrams of how to do something. Like step 1, do this. Step 2, name it this. Step 3, so forth and so on. But that being said, what I think we're going to see is people mod every single mech from MWO in, including clan stuff. I think that's going to happen. You're going to have different weapon mods. I think people are going to change the functionality and stuff like that too. It's going to be a wild, wild west, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Are people going to mod in land air mechs and quad mechs?
I think quads is a thing. I think I would rather, I've talked about quads. I think the biggest issue with quads is that they don't look like shit, like as far as functionality. I've always imagined quads more like Beastmaster movement, where it's nice and organic and stuff like that. But as far as, I think we would see quads for like agromechs, cargo container,
Are they going to look like AT-ATs?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, that's how I've always envisioned stuff. I think people are going to do those mechs, but here's the kicker. I don't think they're going to go to the level that MechWarrior 5 is bringing at the base. And this is where I feel like if PGI does DLC for like a clan invasion and so forth, and what I mean by that is quality is the dynamic damage states of the mechs in Mech 5. If you notice in a lot of the screenshots, and for those that played at MechCon, you could see through armor blow-throughs, structure, torso parts were missing.
So nice.
So I don't think you'll see a lot of modders go that distance right off the bat, because you're going to have to recreate all of that, because that's not an MWO. But I do think you'll see base.
You know who could, though, is a mod community like Living Legends. If they do indeed work with Mech 5, they could bring it. I mean, they were back in the day. They were you designed one yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna have individuals that do it, and or a group that does it, but it's gonna be a lot more work. Whereas, like, I can, like, we can get the Timberwolf in, but to get it to where those damage states and stuff like that, right? I think you're gonna see people do stuff, UI, missions, campaigns, scenarios.
Are people going to bring Gundam mechs in?
Potentially. I don't, like if that's a popular thing or not. It's going to be interesting. They said there was no aerospace in game, but there's VTOLs. I have a feeling someone's going to mod aerospace. I'm going to toss out, I think someone's going to make it so you can fly a VTOL or an aerospace fighter or drive a tank or be an infantry guy. I have a feeling these things are going to happen as far as the mod scene. And again, that's not from an insider point of view. It's just listening to the AMAs and then understanding how the blueprints work and the system that they're going in for Mech 5.
Well, plus we just know plenty of modders and just that whole, the mentality. The BattleTech community is that we have fanatics. We have people that will take that time to freaking totally make a beautiful mech model or whatever. Yeah. It's going to happen. I mean, it's absolutely going to happen.
I think there will be people that change the animations. Mm-hmm. I'm actually interested in that, but you have to work with an animator. Maybe move away from the robotic sort of movements to more organic and stuff. I think people are going to change stuff, like the Timberwolf I mentioned. Maybe do the outward knee. Maybe slim it up and make it a little bit more.
Okay, now you're just reading the wish list.
No, that's what I'm looking at. Like, so when I'm looking at doing the Mech Commander stuff, is there's higher level stuff. Like, okay, we're gonna have to do some UI. We're gonna have to do some point and click stuff, and obviously AI. Anyways, but I'm looking forward to the mod scene. I'm looking forward. Man. Obviously.
Bring it! I want Thunder Rift, man. Yeah. Somebody's got to do it.
It's not far away. I mean, just think. I mean, how we think about lasers too can change. I always like the pulse lasers, the old darts. Me personally, autocannons can change. It no longer has to be something we think outside the box. Someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna make. I'm just looking forward to it. And the cool thing is, you as a player get to benefit from anything that you like. All right. And like I said, mod scene is not slowed down by it being on EGS. So there's that.
Yep. So that's it for MechWarrior 5. We'll obviously every week, if we have any news to share, we will. But right now we don't have anything more on MechWarrior 5. So let's get into BattleTech now. I'm talking BattleTech by Harebrained Schemes right now. Not a lot of recent news. There was Urban Warfare that came out a while back. I'm still watching videos and streams by people. I've dabbled in it a little bit myself, but just haven't had a lot of time. I don't know that I have a lot of thoughts on Urban Warfare. I mean, it's been cool to see just more stuff being added to BattleTech. Obviously, I love that the brand, gets more attention and keeps expanding and more things coming out. I look forward to more coming out with BattleTech. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on that right now. What about you?
Yeah, Urban Warfare, I was happy with some of the additions. Obviously, the new mechs, there really wasn't. And to be fair, mod scene is like, cool, you introduced those. We have like hundreds others. I didn't like how ECM was implemented, and it was very convoluted at first. I think that was just more inexperience on my part than the game, but then also the game did not do a very good job at explaining that.
Right.
one of the things that I've always talked about with people that I've come to the conclusion of is the more and more I played BattleTech, and by the way, I love playing it. I was playing a RogueTech playthrough, and then that Urban Warfare came out and destroyed that.
Totally screwed, yeah.
But Beardool's been playing a mod as well, and there's other mods that are more simplistic. They don't have all the bells and whistles of RogueTech, and I do want to clarify, I think RogueTech is amazing. If you are one of the modders behind that, good on you. That being said, there's a lot of things that I love about the mod, and there's a lot of things that I don't, and it's because it's a compilation, right? There's mods across the board. Stuff that I like about RogueTech that I wish was in vanilla is how they do their movement and like evasion system in RogueTech. I think is a lot better than the base game. There's UI stuff that they implemented that's fantastic, which I still don't understand why they haven't implemented in the base vanilla game. But these are things that I hope maybe HPS picks up on, and slowly, or mods or implements.
Modding is always the same for me, no matter what game. Like, you can go down a path of modding and you can get too many mods,
and from a design standpoint, like it doesn't fit. Like, it's like, but that's cool, right. But it doesn't.
So for me, typically what I do is I jump in, I try a ton of mods, and over time I realize, okay, don't need that one, need that one. And I kind of pare it down to the necessary mods. I typically like to try and stay as close to the vanilla game as possible and only use mods that I deem super necessary, or, just enjoyment improving if it's going to make a big difference.
But another big thing that I think is a weakness of the game is that the game was never designed to have that storyline mission in the first place, or campaign. And they were doing a open world sandbox, and then they were like, hey, we probably want to explain the BattleTech universe a little bit better and walk people through. The only problem with the base game is that you brought this up. By the end, you're rolling around in like 4 assault mechs and just wrecking everything. And
yeah, it was.
And then on top of that, the problem with the missions is that everything's so cookie cutter. You run into the same stuff all the time. And so what's difficult with open world scenarios like that is you have to make it so it doesn't feel like it's the same thing over and over again. I feel
do you know that moment in a game like that where you realize, oh, okay, now I'm seeing the same stuff again, and it crushes you a little bit inside, because it's just a matter of days now to where you don't want to play anymore because you're seeing the same stuff over. There's a line. You can cross that line and you just know it. And
I feel like for me, the more and more I played, I wanted infantry to be in, not individual infantry, do platoons. I wanted VTOLs to be in. I wanted aerospace. I wanted it to be dynamic to where you could call artillery strikes or airstrikes and it could happen to you, which happens in the storyline mission. But that stuff doesn't happen dynamically in the missions. Stuff to where escorts missions aren't complete suicide and a joke. Those are the type of thing. There's other missions too that it's almost there. And the more and more I talked with people, the more and more I realized what we really want as players is more story-driven content. We say we like open world, but the reality of it is open world with a caveat of it has to feel like it's dynamic and unique, and you're making your own story. But the problem is, if you just do open world, there is no story. You're just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I think a good example that we both brought up was Skyrim. Total open world, but great story.
Yeah.
And I agree, I love open world, but I love open world as a secondary almost, I think I do love it as a secondary. I love good story, man.
Yeah. And
just
what
sucks you in.
I mean, and what sucks is about BattleTech is because it's turn-based, you have to think in the gameplay aspect, what can you do with just mechs? Or, what actions can you do that isn't just repeatable or whatever? Like, go stand in this square for X amount of time, or go pick up and that's where I feel like I love the game, but I just feel it falls a little bit short of what I want. And the more and more I talked about it, more and more it came around to that's why I loved Mech Commander so much, is because it did have a linear storyline. I still play the damn game. I've played it. I don't know how many times. You guys have watched me stream it. I've put it up on YouTube. I still love Mech Commander 1, the original, the OG. Of course, with the expansion campaign too. I think it's fantastic. And I would rather have that with a little bit of dynamic stuff, maybe that like throws you off. Like imagine Mech Commander and maybe your starting mechs are different. Okay, cool. Or your starting pilots are different. Okay, cool. But we want a story. We need stuff. And I think you see stuff like other games that do really well. They're like MMORPGs and stuff like, again, because it's big story. But that being said, I'm interested to see what other developments come out of it. And again, this isn't me like saying the game is horrible. I love the game. I think it's fantastic.
No, I'm super glad we have it. It's a good addition to the BattleTech MechWarrior universe that we have. It's beautiful. Definitely plays its part and its role.
I'm gonna leave this out here. Is what are they gonna do next?
What's next?
That brings me back and brings you back as a player, because a lot of people feel the same way as I do. Is like the flashpoints are really good. I did like them.
Yes, they are.
But it's just not enough. And I feel like that's the case. And that's one of the trips when it comes to, open world. Yeah, that sounds good. But you need a lot of story content and scripted content to go with this, so it's not the same thing over.
I think we just want more. That's not a bad, that's me
not
as a fan. Bad at all.
That's me as a
just
fan.
Want more.
Right.
That's a compliment. We like what we are getting. We want more of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got another BattleTech to talk about.
We do.
Yeah, which is awesome. I love this. I love the fact that today we're talking about MWO, MechWarrior 5, BattleTech, and BattleTech.
BattleTech the game and BattleTech the tabletop.
Yeah, so the tabletop, they obviously, about a month ago, almost a month ago, 3 days from a month, they started Kickstarter. What are we at?
1.8 million.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. I'm so happy about that. Like that. I am thrilled for the guys at Catalyst. Good for them. Obviously, they struck a nerve with this Kickstarter. They're just off the charts.
Let's back up here, because if you're listening to this and you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, Catalyst Game Labs, the guys in charge of the tabletop, are doing a Kickstarter for the Clan Invasion box set. Basically, they just did the new box set for the regular, Inner Sphere side. They're doing it for the Clan Invasion. So just to clarify for you, those that don't know, this has nothing to do, because I posted this on Facebook and someone was like, Mech 5, EGS, no way. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with Mech 5. Stop it. This is the tabletop, the miniatures, the information. The cool thing now too.
Miniatures.
The cool thing is they have infographics that show everything for every pledge level, every mech pack that you can buy additionally, so forth and so on. Everything.
How many mechs? We were talking about mechs earlier.
Okay, so
how many mechs do we have?
For the box set, which is $50 to get in, which is Star Commander level, you get 5 miniatures: the Executioner, Timberwolf, Nova, Grendel, which by the way, a lot of people don't know about, Adder, all redesigned, all high quality plastic, and they are. I've seen them in person. You've seen images. Shimmering Sword, you've done a fantastic job, Anthony.
Hell yeah.
You also, because of unlocks, get 2 points bases of Elemental Battle Armor. Yes, a pair of 6-sided dice, expanded Clan Primer booklet, Clan Rulebook, record sheet booklet, novella, 10 pilot cards, Alpha Strike cards, reference cards, game maps, standees and terrain tile punch board, and unique cover for backer copies, just for the $50. And that was unlocked all by the backers. And then the big one that just happened was their 1.5 million, which basically allowed people that had double forces. For instance, at the $150 mark, you get 2 star packs or lance packs. Well, you can get double forces, so you're getting 4 of those. Well, now with the 1.5, instead of just getting double of the pack, whatever, let's just say you picked A pack, now you can choose A, B, C, and D pack. You're not just getting 2 A's and 2 B's. And they have Comstar reinforcement packs as well that you can choose too if you don't like the clan stuff. But really, come on. It's pretty cool. And I'm not surprised. I was telling you this. I'm not surprised about the success. I'm not surprised that they hit their, 35,000 for base level and within minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised about the success either. I'm just happy about it. It's good to see the entire community, whether you like tabletop, fiction, collectibles, or the video games. It's just like, like
But I
I've
feel
been
like
saying for years, good time to be a BattleTech.
I feel like what needs to happen though is the collective whole community of BattleTech needs to realize this is a great franchise and it can be bigger as far as the tabletop is concerned. It's just you have to bring in people that have no idea. And that's one thing that I was down for with their like I'm totally brain fart. The Alpha Strike cards, like the Alpha Strike rulebook and stuff, to be able to play games quickly and easier, but while still retaining sort of, the original sort of feel. Because if you bring in someone and you lay out any rules for any tabletop and they're not used to tabletops, you're usually going to lose them. That's a little bit different too if they play like Warhammer and so forth and so on. They've already gone down that rabbit hole. They know. Play with your friends, get involved, have a beer night out. So that's what I'm going to do. I think, because I've got a bunch of old minis too, but I'd have to paint them. But just to be able to have like a tabletop and, hey, we're going to do a trial of blood right and send everybody in and who dies and who comes out on top. Stuff like that.
I'm eyeballing that dropship model, the Fortress dropship.
Right?
It's pretty fucking cool.
And it's what is it? There's a thing here. Hold on. It's $60, I believe. Right?
Yep.
Let me see here. The Crusaders in there. I mean, God, there's so much shit.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Oh, let me see here. I've got to scroll down to the... Right, so let's see here. I'm pretty sure it was $65. Fortress class dropship done in quality resin and metal. This map scale model fills approximately 7 hexes. Can be placed on any map to create the ultimate prize. Some assembly required. There's also a metal Timberwolf statue, metal Warhammer statue. It's 3.5
I'm
inches
pretty
tall.
sure I am going to get my daughter involved in BattleTech now. She's been begging me to do it. She's getting interested in Dungeons and Dragons, so I think I'm going to steer her towards the robots. So I think I'm going to be, I think, what did we decide? We're probably going to do the $95 pledge or whatever. And then I'm going to talk to Catalyst, maybe get a beginner box set or whatever. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to train her. She's going to, she's going off to Mech Academy.
That's right.
I'm ready to do it. I want to play. And then I would love to play with some people in the area as well. Yeah. In the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Good on Catalyst, man, and as well as community. I mean, we have over 8,000 backers right now. Yep. We got 3 days left. It might make 2. I
think it will. I think some people are. I mean, I think 1.5 was the big.
We haven't bought in yet.
No, and
we're
that's
going to.
Yeah, and I think let's see, what is the new goal? It's 2 million. Okay. Which, by the way, the 2 million goal is called No Guts, No Galaxy.
I know. So appropriate, right? The 2 billion mark. No Guts, No Galaxy.
That's right, boys. That's right. You get to own Daeron and I.
We are the pinnacle.
Daeron will show up on your doorstep, beard and everything.
Oh, boy.
You like him to whisper? They're doing a magazine, reinforcements, camo specs.
Dude, the magazine's cool. I'm stoked on that. I mean, it's not an e-magazine, right? It's or an e-zine. They're talking physical.
It says quarterly meets battle technology.
I think it's
fiction scenarios, more official. It says commit to 4 issues with timing and release to be determined. Warrior and above will receive first issue for free. With Star Colonel and above, receive 2 issues for free. So,
I think that is freaking awesome.
Yeah. So. It's a good time, and to me this is a smart move because I felt like, and this is sort of what we were told and expecting, is the issue they had with the release of the new box set is supply and demand. They couldn't get enough.
They couldn't meet the demand.
But you don't want to order too much and then not sell your stock. And so
so obviously this is just basically a pre-sale, and it allows them to know what they're going to be manufacturing. They're going to, so I think it's a perfect marriage. Yeah. They figured out, hey, this is a situation that is perfect for us. The people can show us that they want to buy it, and we know how much we have to manufacture, and the money's all there. Yeah, I think it was marriage made in heaven for them, and obviously the community felt the same.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I think maybe what we might have to do is set up a stream for it or something like that.
Hell yeah.
And
what'd be cool is I have a little table space in here. It'd be cool if we had the exact same sets. Do you remember Blade Runner? Did you watch it recently?
The new one?
No.
Or the old
So
one?
the original. JF
Yes.
Sebastian was playing chess with the guy that ran the corporation or whatever. And so they both had chessboards on either side of them,
Yeah, yeah.
and they would move the figure. So I feel like we should set up tabletops
Uh-huh.
with cams. Like you can have the cam so you stream it or whatever, but we have all our miniatures in the same place. So we can actually play each other
Like Battleship,
on stream.
like Echo 5.
Yeah, almost
you know.
Battleship or whatever. But so people can follow along us playing each other, across the country. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Is the what is it? The guys that did the Twitch version. Is that Death from Above? Is that still going on?
I think it transferred ownership to like a new group of people were going to do it that didn't have anything to do with Hyper RPG.
Okay.
And I don't know the status on it. Maybe somebody in chat will know. But yeah, obviously,
because
their version was amazing.
Well, if they released their app they were using, then
Yes.
I think that changes it a little bit because like you just get an iPad or you have a system there, and then you have, you could make that. But it's definitely possible. Yeah.
We'll look into it. We'll see what's going to happen. But it's exciting to see so much news happening within Catalyst and the tabletop.
It's very cool.
In addition to all the video game stuff that we've been talking about.
Yep. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think that about wraps up MWO, Mech5, BattleTech by HBS, and BattleTech Clan Invasion box set by Catalyst Game Labs.
Indeed. I think we'll be back next week with Ash. I'm pretty sure that's what we'll be doing next week.
Yes.
And then, of course, again, tomorrow I'll be streaming. Phil will be streaming on Friday.
Yep.
And then sometimes I think one of us may or may not pop up over the weekend. We'll see. But anyway, thank you. It was great to see you all here and good to hang out again.
Yeah, Daeron, thank you for being here and available. Guys, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them in the comments section below. We'll have all the information and links to what we were talking about in the description. So if you're interested and didn't know about the Kickstarter, click that button. And of course, we'll have stuff for like the screenshots as well, which by the way, the screenshots for Mech5 come out every week. They're on the early access or the Mech5 Discord. They get released there. I post them up on our Discord on NGNG TV and the NGNG Discord as soon as they come up. So there's that as well. But,
and Bard's Rock, we don't have any info on MechCon. Sorry, if we had anything, we'd share, but we literally don't know anything about it. And Strongpaw, you take care as well, man. And I guess, use a lot of lotion on that skin there. You haven't seen
hasn't seen
skin
in a while.
Yeah, in a long time.
Be careful.
I'm in awe of the fact that you did it, and but I hope it was good for a good reason or whatever, and that you're enjoying having a face again.
And I'm going to totally do a self plug here. If you guys watch a stream, one of the things I've also done is I've been dedicating time every single night to my own personal Twitch channel, and we're trying to get Daeron to make one as well. And that is twitch.tv/tiny, TINY, Terrier. We've been having some fun, and so make sure to come over there, give me a follow, hang out if you enjoy yourself. Also, we got some awesome emotes, and just saying. All right, this podcast is supported by you, the viewer. Yes, you, just like PBS channel. This public broadcasting. Please consider supporting us in a variety of ways. You can sub to the channel, like we said. We do have awesome emotes here. If you like urban mechs, then it's a good place for you. You can become one of our patrons. We have that as well. We have a merchandise store as well. Some people don't know about that. If you click this link, merch. And of course, if you're going to be doing any shopping on Amazon, a lot of you guys are upgrading. Some of you guys were waiting for the AMD thing to come out. All you got to do is click on this link, purchase like you normally do. It doesn't add anything to your cost of your cart or anything. We don't get personal information. It just gives us kickbacks when you guys buy stuff. And that also applies too if like you click the link and you buy, I don't know, like a book or, something for your dog, whatever, that applies. So
what link are you talking about?
The Amazon affiliate link.
Where is it?
I will drop it right here for people. It's actually
already.
Amazon, bam, done. Bam. But just want to say thank you, Daeron. I'm glad you've been enjoying the summer weather and the lack thereof of fires. Death, destruction, heat, what else?
Unbearable heat.
Right. Yep. And drought. That's another thing you don't have to worry about as much. Nope. Right. So how's your skin feel? Nice and moisturized, all that good?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good, man.
All right.
Also, be sure to check us out on our website at NoGutsNoGalaxy.net, where you'll also find a lot of these links that Phil's mentioning, on Twitch at NGNGTV, you're already here, YouTube at NoGutsNoGalaxy TV, Twitter at NoGutsNoGalaxy, Facebook at NoGutsNoGalaxy Podcasts, SoundCloud at NoGutsNoGalaxy, and for all the latest and greatest in mech porn t-shirts and mugs are important. Got to have your mugs. Be sure to check us out at NoGutsNoGalaxyStore.com.
Guys, this was your local No Guts, No Galaxy podcast. Signing off for tonight, this is Phil.
And this is Daeron.
Until next time, Mech Warriors. Oh, they got it.